Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. It's Melinda and I am here with a DIY video for you today. I've got 5 different DIYs. Yeah, they're technically summer. We've still got at least a month and a half left of summer, right? So it's okay. I've been working on these for a while. Um, but I finally got it all put together. One of them, honestly, sorry, one of them honestly really isn't even a DIY. It's just a cute idea that I got from Sarah Jane from the channel Chick on the Cheap. I will link that video of hers in the description box below. But I hope you enjoy these DIYs. All the items are from the Dollar Tree except for like my glue gun and the paints. Um, and if you haven't already subscribed to our channel, we would love to have you. If you enjoy this video, I would love if you could give us a thumbs up. That'll help us out a lot. And enjoy. I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys this cute, sweet summer sign. And you notice that the first picture had ripples. This one I'm using does not. That's because I completely screwed up, and you'll see my progression and why I decided to just start all over. And once I started over, I forgot to film it. So right here, I'm using a heat gun to try and remove the sticker and all of the adhesive from the back of this 4th of July pennant sign. Well, like the hanging banner sign. So now I got this Prang paint from Dollar Tree, and shaking it up, I'm going to use that to paint the rind of the watermelon. And I've got some plastic mats underneath. They're like placemats. But look, it's like a magic trick. This paint, you paint it on and it's see-through. So I finish it up and then I decide I'll try a second coat and we'll see if that does any better. So I did a second coat and now I'm going to try and dry it out using the heat gun, see if that makes it better. And it looks like it's just still disappearing. And there it goes. So it's like this chalky green color that I don't like. So I thought, okay, dry it, paint it again, see what happens. So I did another coat after it was dry it again, and it just disappears again. So I'm at a loss. So then I'm like, what on earth am I going to do? I don't know how to fix this. And see, I got that table cover really hot with the heat gun. So now I decide I'm going to just paint over the whole thing with some white chalk paint. This is the Folk Art white chalk paint. I decide maybe if I paint it all white, then I can start again. Well, you'll see in a minute that that just doesn't work. So I'm going to dry this, I'm going to try again, and you'll see that it was a no-go. So what I ended up doing, like I said in the beginning, I started all over using a different sign that had the ripple effect, and I completely spaced recording that one. So I'm sorry, you guys, but at least you can see the idea and what I was trying to do. The words that I put on this sign, I cut out on my Cricut, but you could totally use stickers. You could use a stencil. You could freehand it, whatever you want to do. I was gonna put seeds on mine, but I didn't like how they turned out. So this is the sign I ended up using. And then these are the paints. I used the the Craft Smart paints from Michaels. They're like 78 cents. And then that's the Folk Art chalk paint. And here's my finished product. I did a little bit of dry brushing with the white since I didn't do seeds, but I like how it turned out. Thought it was pretty darn cute. So now I'm going to use my Surebonder fabric glue sticks. And this is a new glue gun. And I've got this tote bag from the Dollar Tree. I am going to make a pillow out of it. So I don't want these straps on here. So I'm going to trim those off as close as I can without undoing anything. and I can save those for a project later or just get rid of them. But if you ever remove something, if you think you can use it later, hold on to it. So, and this glue gun, I think Tracy got it for me on Amazon. I can put a link to it in the description box. It came with a case, that silicone black mat, and silicone finger protectors. It's really cool. So here, I just bought a cheap pillow. I thought I can get a pillow for a couple bucks and I'll use the filling to do throw pillows. So I'm kind of seeing how big of a piece do I need, and then I'm just taking my scissors and trimming off a big piece of the polyfill. You can get the bags of polyfill at the craft store, but I thought just get a pillow and use that. So now I'm going to put it in here, find the best way to fill it. I put it vertical first and that didn't quite do it right, so I think I turn it around. Yeah, so there I'm turning it around, making sure it's fit in nicely. Poke into all the corners. And now that the glue gun is heated up, I am going to just glue that seam together. And what I did is I folded the edges, so the top seam where the handles were sewn in, I folded that in so that you don't necessarily see all the seaming. And then grab those silicone finger protectors. The pink ones are from the Dollar Tree in the Crafter Square section. And then I'm just going to do a little bit at a time and glue it all the way across. You do want to be careful because that glue is hot.
We're gonna keep it low key, keep it softly spoken, with no strings tying you.
Go across all the way. This is my first time doing a no-sew pillow, and I'll be a little more careful next time. But I think for my first one, it turned out pretty darn good. So I've done it all the way across. Now I'm going to go through and make sure that there's no little holes, because you can see some little gaps in the seam. So I'm just going to go through and fill those in. And I realize, oh yeah, that's hot. I need to be careful, and I'm trying to just clean up the glue strands. Those blue silicone finger protectors are what came with this glue gun. So, and it had like 3 different sizes, so I can put it on multiple fingers. So yeah, just fill in all those little gaps with the fabric glue. I'm sure you could use regular glue if you wanted to, but I wanted to actually use fabric glue so that it could withhold, I don't know, hold better, I guess. I didn't even read the instructions. Maybe I can wash that even. So there you go. Here's my pillow. Isn't that cute? I just loved that. All right. So this next one is a wall decor, and you've seen this in my backgrounds. It's hanging above my fireplace. So it's just the little corrugated tin picture frame, and what I'm doing is taking some jute twine and I'm going to attach it with my Surebonder glue gun, and I'm just going to make a hanger for it. So I did this one before. So see, I need to get my little Crafter Square fingertips out and glue that on, and then I'll do the same to the other side once I figure out how much of that jute I want above the frame. And you can do this however you want. You can use whatever frames or materials you want. And this is so simple that I feel like I'm lying when I say it's a DIY. I guess I glued something onto it, right? So it's DIY in that aspect. So anyways, I glue that on. I've got what I want. Clean up the little ends. I had a little extra jute that I didn't need. So there, now I've got a hanger. And what I'm going to do next is I got this little leafed garland. I want to say I got it at Walmart a while back. Like, I don't even remember when. In the winter, maybe? So I'm just making a few rings of it and using my wire cutters that I obviously need a new pair, and just cutting it down, getting rid of what I don't need. And now I'm going to kind of twist it together so that I don't have a bunch of loops, but they're all connected, and it makes it look a little fuller. And I'm just going to make a simple little wreath to hang from the frame, because it already has that little clip on there, and I just thought that would be adorable. So I'm doing 2 of these. So I've got them matching. There they are. And then that's what I did with them. Hung them up above my fireplace and put it with this "It's good to be home" sign. I just love that. Simple. Now this is the one that I got from Sarah Jane. You take the little solar lights for the yard. See that? And these jars. Now this one jar in particular, the mouth was a little wider than the other 2 jars that I had. So I just added a little bit of glue inside rim of the jar. Now, to be honest, when I went out and took pictures of them today, and I did these like last month, some of the glue had fallen out. So I would recommend, if the mouth of your jar isn't narrow enough and you have to glue, maybe rough up the jar with some sandpaper so that it stays, because in the heat, I think that's what it did. The heat kind of melted off some of the glue, but it's still standing. So I'm just putting some little knobs of glue so that there's something that solar light can hold on to and like set on, since I didn't want it to fall into the jar. But the other 2 jars, that solar light fit perfect. So you can see, and then boop, it sits in there great. So here's what they look like on my patio. And then here it is in my bathroom. So you can, isn't that beautiful? All right, here is the wreath. So I used clothespins, a wreath form from the Dollar Tree that's 14 inches. And then here, what I did is I did paint swatches. I did a bunch of different colors to figure out what I wanted. Then I ended up choosing these colors for our final product. All of these paints I got on clearance at Michael's. I love checking their clearance section for paints. I didn't get that on clearance though. All of these brushes are from the Dollar Tree. This glue gun, I think I got at Joann's. And then I used my Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut, use a stencil, freehand, whatever you want to do. So Tracy's doing this with me. She's painting 2 colors and I'm painting 2 colors. So we each did 2 sheets right there. So 1, 2, like, I don't remember how many. We did 2. I think we used 2 or 3 packs of clothespins. So, and we only painted the top, so we didn't paint the entire clip. Now you can if you want to, it's totally up to you. And then this paintbrush cleaner is from the Dollar Tree. Isn't that neat? Very convenient. So while my first color's drying, I'm going to paint my mint one, and Tracy is doing the blue and the yellow on the other side of the table. Sorry I didn't record her painting those. Now we're going to put it all on the wreath form, and you can kind of play around with whatever pattern you want. I decided that 3 of every color, and I'll just go in a pattern. I figured that looked the best. Kind of, but you can totally do it however you want. And you can angle these clothespins. You can put them on the inner ring and the outer ring if you wanted. When I do this for football and for Halloween, I might do it a little different. So you can kind of see my inner circle's a little wonky, so I'm just going to adjust things and move them around. So now this I took off of a St. Patrick's Day decor piece from the Dollar Tree, and I stained it. I did that a while back though. But I thought, hey, this will work perfect. I didn't want the stain, but I wanted the banner. So I'm going to use my chalk paint and I'm going to dry brush it. Well, I thought I was going to dry brush it. Then I decided I got too heavy-handed, so I'm just going to paint the whole thing white. And then I'm going to distress. So distress it, rough it up, however you want it to look. If you don't want to distress it and you want it to be fully white, that's great. Here I'm just sanding down the edges to make them look a little, you can kind of see that raw wood sticking out. And see, you can kind of see some spots on there. So here I cut out the word welcome on my Cricut. But I use the Cricut Design Studio on my phone, and I need to do it on a laptop because I know you can make words on a curve. I just don't know how to do it on my phone. So, and here I was trying to use the Dollar Tree contact paper for my transfer tape, and I don't know if I was just rushing or I wasn't being patient, but I was having some issues. So I decide, okay, I'm going to get it off the mat. I'm going to do something else. And see, I just kept screwing it up. So I'm trying to carefully remove the contact paper, seeing what I can do. Give yourself some grace, everybody. I got all the contact paper off, and now I'm using the actual Cricut transfer tape. I need to just practice more using the contact paper. So now I want to put that on, and then I realize that I need to have it on a curve, so I'm individually placing each letter. So no, it's not straight. It's not in a perfect curve. I have a lot of learning to do. Yeah, see there, I thought maybe if I put the two end letters, it would work, but no such luck. So I just cut each letter out, spaced them to what I thought was best, and then I'm going to put them on. And that C needed to come up. In a perfect world, I would have pushed that C up higher, but it is what it is. And like I said, if you don't have a Cricut, you can use the stencil, stickers, freehand, whatever you want to do. You do not need to use a Cricut. I was able to find mine. I bought it off of someone who was selling theirs. I got a great deal on it, so I do really like it. All right, so I finally got that together. See, I didn't space them well, but oh well. The more often I do it, the better I'll get, right? So now I'm going to just use a little bit of hot glue and glue the corners of that pennant. I'm trying to figure out, do I want it in the middle, in the top? I end up going with the bottom, and I'm just going to do a little dot of glue on each corner of that banner. And kind of with the glue that fell off in the jar, you do want to be careful if it gets really hot to just keep an eye on it, because it can kind of lose its grip. But all in all, I think it turned out really well. So here is the final product. Isn't that cute? There it is on my front door. I love this wreath so much. And you could do so many colors. There's my bedroom door. Well, I hope you enjoyed those DIYs. We had so much fun doing them. Tracy helped me with that wreath, and we just love it. We're going to do that same type of wreath for Halloween. We're going to even do one for football. So once we get around to doing those, I'll make sure to show you guys what those turned out, how they turned out. I don't know if I'll do a video of them or not. If you want me to record those, even though it's a repeat DIY but a different theme, if you want me to record it, leave it in the description box below, or not the description box, that's me. You leave it in the comment section. And if you could, leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite item, what your favorite DIY was. If you have any suggestions or requests, something that you want to see us do, that would be awesome too. Leave that in the comments. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and watching this video. Again, if you haven't already, you can subscribe to our channel. And when you subscribe, you can click the bell. That'll send you notifications whenever we upload a video. And if you can give this video a thumbs up, we would really appreciate it. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.